Manchester United's priority for 2025 is offloading the deadwood, offloading the high-wage players, and offloading some of the players that are just always injured. And could Luke Shaw be off to Italy? There is interest in Luke Shaw from Italy. We will talk about that. Cunha to United blow. Wolves will not sell the star in January, although I think we could kind of guess that. But what is the latest on Man United and Cunha? What's the possibility of it happening in the summer? And what's United's relationship to Cunha? That, there's a video of him in the summer sort of joking about moving to United. He was liking posts about moving to United. We'll give you the context on that. Now, there is a report coming out today that Nuno Mendes has agreed terms to join United. I've seen 2 or 3 aggregator accounts put, again, out this information, although I don't know the source of information. It's not the most reliable source of information. So I'd probably say take that with a big pinch of salt. But we will go into updates on Nuno Mendes because we've got a few more stories coming out after, Fabrice Hawkins, who is a very, very reliable journalist, Fabrice Hawkins confirmed the interest, confirmed an offer that United are willing to make, and that, Nuno Mendes could be willing to leave. We've now had less reliable sources sort of jump on that and semi-reliable sources sort of jump on that. So I'm going to give you the update on Nuno Mendes. There is talk of terms being agreed, although I am sceptical about that. Rasmus Hojlund speaks out against trolls, sort of saying that he only went to United because of his agency, la-di-da, la-di-la. Rashford exit to raise funds. What do we know on Rashford's exit? And more cost-cutting from INEOS. So hello and welcome back to Alice Talks Football, and welcome back to a Manchester United 10-minute news roundup, where there's quite a bit of transfer window news ahead of January, which, the window only opens in like 3 days. And, we had that report that we said in a video a few days ago that Ruben Amorim had given INEOS a 2-week deadline to bring in a left wing back. We'll get into that in a second. But let's talk about this. Napoli are interested in signing Luke Shaw in January. Man United are open to offers. A few Italian clubs are interested in Shaw. I like Luke Shaw. If Luke Shaw was guaranteed to stay fit for 40 games a season, I would not sell Luke Shaw because I think at left centre-back, he'd probably do a better job than Leach. And I think at left wing back, he can't be much worse than Delo and Malacia, can he? But with Luke Shaw's injury record, with his wages, I think you have to just get rid of him. As much as I think that, if he was fit, he would be good for us, you just can't. It's been 2 seasons of this. He's been here too long. And if Napoli want to come and make an offer for Shaw, I feel like INEOS, you can't, even though if he gets fit, you need him, I just feel like he'll come back for 2 games and be injured again. I think you've got to look at cashing in on that for Luke Shaw. And there's a few Italian clubs reportedly interested in Luke Shaw. Napoli have shown interest in Shaw. They've shown interest in Xerxes. They've shown interest in Rashford. They like our Deadwood. But to be honest, there's a few players in that side that I can see Antonio Conte liking. I think Luke Shaw at left centre-back could be one of them. So one to keep an eye on if Shaw could be off to Italy. There's a few rumours that, Luke Shaw himself would be interested in an exit as well. Fresh start. This is when he leaves the club and he stays fit for 30 games in a row. I'll go mad. But I don't know when he's back from injury, and it'll be interesting to see how this develops. I think INEOS will be open to sell both Shaw and Malacia in January. I don't think they rate any of the left wing backs. I think they want a fresh start there. Now, one player that absolutely tore us apart was Matheus Cunha. And Man United have had interest in him for a while. I'm going to go back into some old news about this. But it was said that Wolves will not entertain offers for Matheus Cunha in January, with both Arsenal and United interested, said the Mirror. Now, 5 days ago, there was a post by Matheus Cunha, and it said Man United soon, and he liked it. No, sorry. That was about 2 weeks ago. He liked it 5 days after it was posted. But I think that was quite interesting. He's sort of hinted in videos and at posts of going to United. He's been linked to United, and he was definitely auditioning for Man United when he played against us because he put in his best ever performance. But Arsenal are big competition because they are interested in Cunha. Cunha's wanted by Villa, United, Newcastle, Tottenham and Arsenal. And the Gunners have even held talks with it, but Wolves have made it very clear they will not sell in January. Wolves need to stay up. They're not going to sell the best player in January. They'll look to sell him in the summer. If Wolves get relegated, we could get him on a nice price. But the guy's going to be at least £60 million. And I did say last summer, Matheus Cunha was my first choice striker, but I said Wolves will price us out of a move. Considering how good Matheus Cunha's been this year, is going to be expensive if we do want Cunha, but I would like him at United. This is an older story on Cunha. This came from the summer just to show you how long-standing our interest is in Cunha. It's not just because he's had a good season. It was said that Wolves would resist any attempt to lose Cunha, who's thought to be on 60k a week. Man United are prepared to double Cunha's wages to try and persuade him to join Ratcliffe's Revolution, and that United have both Wolves' Matheus Cunha and West Ham's Mohamed Kudus in their side. Scouts consistently tracked Cunha last season. He's believed to be high on the list of targets. I think Cunha particularly could work very well because I think Amad can be right 10, whereas Kudus is a right 10 and not having a good season. But Cunha is having a really good season and prefers the left as well. And then we could throw it back even to over 2.5 years ago nearly, where Manchester United are close to signing Matheus Cunha from Atletico Madrid around 50 million. I remember that story broke in August of 2022. So you can see that United have liked Cunha for a while. I think it's one to watch in the summer, but not January. There is talk of United, City and Arsenal keeping an eye on the Dani Olmo situation. To be honest, I don't see it happening. I think we want Dani Olmo. I think Dani Olmo on the free would be fantastic business, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think Barcelona will find a way to register him. But let's talk about Nuno Mendes, because there is reports of him agreeing terms to join United. We're going to dive into that in a second. But it was said by Florian Plettenberg that Manchester United remain highly interested in Nuno Mendes, while PSG want to extend his deal beyond 2026. No agreement is imminent, and Mendes shares the same agency as Ruben Amorim, and United are keeping a close eye on the situation. We know that left wing back is a priority. It is a must in January. There's a couple of players we're looking at, Dorgu, Kirkus as well. But Nuno Mendes could be someone that's available. Maybe PSG will sell him cheaper because of the contract situation. Now, according to Goncalo Diaz, 17, Man United already have an agreement with Nuno Mendes on personal terms. Now, quite a few aggregator accounts have come out and put this information out. However, this is a guy with 17,000 followers. I do not know if he's credible or not, so I'm going to say take with a pinch of salt. I'll put in the title by less credible source or something, because I would say I'm a bit skeptical of that. Why would this guy break this morning there's agreed personal terms, but we haven't heard anything from Ornstein, Whitwell, Romano? I feel like it would be out the hat by now. I think if we don't hear anything by tonight, I'd probably say that this guy is jumping the guns for a bit of clicks, a bit of attention. I don't think personal terms have been agreed, but you never know. We could get a big breakthrough. You never know, Vinicius. They like to surprise us. It is said that United did make an offer for Mendes, and the player is said to be keen on joining Ruben Amorim, and as things stand, he wants to leave PSG. So I think Nuno Mendes over these next week or so could be one to watch. The left-back situation, definitely. And of course, exits: Luke Shaw, Xerxes, Rashford, Garnacho, Ericsson, Casemiro, Lindelof, Antony have all been linked with exits as well. Talking of United players, I want to just address this because Rasmus Hojlund replied to a fan. So a fan put out there that Hojlund is only at the club because he shared the same agency as Ten Hag, not because of his football ability. People know this, yet they still think he's talented and going to come good. He's one of the biggest 72 million scandals, was said, which is absolute BS. We've been looking at Hojlund for a while. Even Arsenal was scouting Hojlund. He was a good young raw player at Atalanta. Hojlund said, "Hi, find your post a bit disturbing, mate. You have the right to have your opinion, but stop talking about things you know nothing about. That is all." And people are giving Hojlund a stick to that. And I think the worst thing Hojlund's done is give the guy that posted that the attention he wants. You sometimes have to ignore it and pretend you don't see it. But Hojlund has every right to stick up for that. You know, criticism is fair, but that's just abuse. You could say, "Oh, Hojlund's first touch was bad. Hojlund's not been convincing. I'm a bit worried." But you can't say, "Oh, he was only signed because of this. He's the biggest footballing scandal ever." There's a difference between abuse and criticism, and this is abuse and this is lies. So I think Hojlund has every right to stand up when it comes to just straight up lies and abuse. When it comes to criticism, fair enough. But when it comes to straight up lies and abuse, I think Hojlund has the right to stick up for that. Because the thing with Rasmus Hojlund was he was meant to be signed for 40 million as an addition alongside an experienced striker, but because we spent 72 million on him, we didn't have the money to bring in the experienced striker, and all the weight was sort of put on Hojlund, who doesn't get much service, who doesn't get maybe the environment to adapt in. Hojlund's first touch needs to be worked on. There's things he's doing wrong. But I think Hojlund could become a very good player at United. I think with the right system in place, with the right service, we've seen elements of it. He's young, he's raw, he has good games, he has bad games. We definitely need an experienced striker. But if you have an experienced striker and Hojlund, I'm confident that once we sort out the environment, Hojlund could be a good signing at United. Now, let's talk about Rashford. This is a bit of an older story, but a lot of people have been saying, will Rashford be sold in January? And this is what Jamie Jackson said on the situation. He said that Manchester United would countenance a cut price offer for Rashford. A move in January would be ideal, although his 365k a week salary means only a few clubs can afford him. That is wrong. He's on 300k a week. So I'm not sure why he's inflating the salary there. It was said the surgeon Ratcliffe insists there can be no passengers and is prepared to offload Marcus Rashford in January if suitors emerge. Man United's willingness to take short-term pain for long-term gain also led to Dan Ashworth's exit just after 5 months. So it looks like, INEOS and United are quite keen to offload Rashford in January, which I think, Amorim speaks about training performances, and if that is the case, Amorim's absolutely right, but I think there's more to it. I think you've looked at the last 2 games, we've been crying out for Rashford. He's not been at his best, but he is better than Garnacho. Like, he just is. And I think, I think INEOS want him out, and I think that's another reason why he's not playing, to be honest. I think there's more to it. Talking of INEOS and cost-cutting, it was said that Sir Jim Ratcliffe has reportedly continued United's cost-cutting measures by cancelling a charity donation for club legends. Sir Jim Ratcliffe has cut funding to the Association of Former United Players, a trust supporting low-income players. Man United previously donated £40,000 a year, but the last two payments have not arrived. So more cost cutting by INEOS, and I think, look, if it's 40 grand and it's helping out old ex-United players, I don't think the cost cutting is necessary. I'm all for INEOS cost cutting if we've got 200 useless employees we don't need, or getting rid of people on the board that we don't need, and trimming down the wages. But cancelling the Christmas party, cancelling charity things. I think they've got to be a little bit more tactical with what they're cost cutting with. I think it does go a bit far. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on all the latest Manchester United news, transfer news, and updates down below. I will be back around 6-7 p.m. tonight, guys, with a live stream or a video, depending on sort of the news that comes out. See you next time. Bye.